Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. We're on YouTube and Instagram at Joey143Jenny, and we're on Facebook at Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. Okay, so I'm here. I'm getting ready, packing my crafty things for our flight. We leave early in the morning. And yeah, so I thought, well, I'll just show you what I'm getting ready to work on. So this is my travel cigar box. And you may remember it. It's broken, and so I hinged it here last minute last year. Here are hopefully what I'll need for what I'm going to work on. And then these are just a little extra things. I have a tiny pair of scissors. I just carry those anyways. It's redundant, but I carry them anyways. And then I have my little clips, and I don't know if I'll need these or not. I just keep them in here, so they're always in there. Then I'm going to take these little Tim Holtz. These work really well. It's got a little glue on there. Okay. Sometimes I fussy cut too, but I don't think I'm going to this time. And then I'm going to take my pin cushion. And then here, I'll show you what else I'm going to take. This is the ribbon that goes around it. I've got my iron right here. I think while I have my iron here, this poor thing has been through it. I think I might give it just a quick smash out. I do take this wool mat. I use it to, this might be impossible. I use it to work on while I'm on the flight. It just seems to hold things really nice. I put that tray down, you know, that's in that poor person in front of me. I put the tray down, and then I just work on, you know, my projects. And the great thing about that tray, I know it's kind of can be a little bit close, but I like that because, whoopsie, because then, you know, if I accidentally drop a needle or a pin or something, it's very, very close, and usually lands right on this little ironing mat, project mat. This piece of fabric I tore off of some of Cathe's outdoorsy a couple years ago. One day I'm going to show you a couple of projects, well, 3 actually, that I worked on one year, and of course never finished. I keep meaning to finish, and I love working on them. But I'm kind of, it's one of those things like, once you finish, what are you going to do with it? I love them, and I don't, I intended to give them as gifts, but you know, you put so much time and everything in it, you're like, oh, what if they just put it in a garage sale or something, you know? So this is not a craft iron. This is my normal iron. I've got some things I do need to iron, but I haven't gotten around to it. Probably will not do it before I leave, that's for sure. Okay, let's just smooth it out a little bit better. It was working fine, but I was getting kind of tired of it being balled up. Okay. All right, so then that goes around this. I tie it in a nice bow, but I do leave it a little bit loose so that I can I leave it a little bit loose so I can slide it off and on. It makes it easier for me when I'm working. And then I take a couple of, these are half quart, which I love, to put supplies in. This is going to be where I'll start. This, probably this will be big enough, but if not, this, as I start completing the project a little bit. And then I just keep it all in here. So what happens is I have a backpack that I put under the seat in front of me, and it will put all of this goes in there, and instead of having to lift that backpack up every time, I can just easily grab this and pull it out. So that's what I'll be doing. Okay, so I have Cathe Holden's Vintage Soul out. I love it. And I thought I would just give these strips. I tried to cut these. I'm not the best at being rotary. I tried to cut these in 1.5. This one looks like it's not quite. Those that are obvious that aren't quite, I'm going to put them there. Some of them slipped through. And what I'm going to do is, the plan is to make a double-sided chain. So like, let's say it would be like this. These will, the seams will be in. Chain like that. And then just keep chaining them for my tree, my Christmas tree. I'm not going to sew them and then turn them inside out. I'm going to just fold back one, fold back the other, and then with my embroidery thread, I'm going to just do some stitches. I think I'm going to like that extra color, and I think being on the airplane, it's going to make it a lot easier. And, turning things inside out, oof, what a mess, especially this little. So probably that's not going to happen. But isn't that going to make a pretty chain around the tree? Maybe we can iron a couple at a time here. I think it will be. So as, putting it back to, or, wrong sides together like that, then as you see it on the tree, you'll be able to see both sides. So I'll probably put, some of these are a little bit dark and can, in my tree, get a little bit lost, and cause kind of a cave effect, where you just have kind of a dark spot on your tree, and I don't want that. So I'll probably embroider and back with something very, one of the lighter ones, but I just thought they were so pretty. I don't want to not use them. So yeah, we're getting ready to leave. We leave in the morning, and getting pretty excited. I'm packed for the most part, except for toiletries that I'll use, right beforehand. Well, I'll mostly be packed, except for like, toothbrush and stuff. Because we're just taking carry-ons, and so I'll take everything I have already in little travel sizes. So that'll be easy. Plus, we're going to be super tired. We need to leave the house probably around 4 a.m. to get to the airport early, and not super early because we're already checked in and we don't have luggage to check. Hopefully. I don't think we will. And our airport is fairly small compared to, I think that one's going to be too little. That one's going to be too little. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a ton of gates and things like that. So it only has, it has all the major airlines. But at that time in the morning, let's see, and it's a Tuesday, so we will run into some business travelers. I know when I traveled for business, I would go on, sometimes go on a Tuesday and come back on a Friday. Did a lot of travel to, one corporation I used to work for, I did a lot of travel to New York. Lot of travel to New York. And the fun wears off. And let's see, then in the corporation that I just recently worked at, I did some travel to, I would say the majority of my travel was probably to Houston. And what a nice city Houston is. So friendly. You know, my experience, super friendly. And, but man alive, the driving, the highways. Oh my goodness. The first time I went, rented a car, drove to the facility that, you know, that I was going to be working out of. This one looks too little. And thought, oh, this isn't so bad. Of course, I got there at like 1 p.m. So, you know, the highway wasn't super bad. But then going back to the airport, I left after work, you know, and in the rush hour, I literally thought I was going to die. Literally thought I was going to die. And said I would never again, ever, ever, ever drive in Houston again. Never, never, ever. So I was really grateful for Uber. I Ubered everywhere in Houston. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And people are very savvy. I'm not, you know, coming from a small town and even driving in our nearby big town, our big town is considered somewhat small to these other big cities. And so, yeah, it was when I go to California to see Cathe, it's super fun because she is such a good driver in the city. Oh, she's so good. I love it. Okay. And Joey came from a big city. So, he's very much used to it. I'm a nervous wreck. Absolute wreck about it. Okay, so these are nice and, you know, ready to work with. I'm going to tuck them in this big bag here. And then what will happen is that what I want to do? No. I'm going to tuck them in this little bag here. Then I'll pull 2 out at a time and work with them. And probably what I'm going to do is, I'll show you on these, the ones that I'm not going to use this time, but probably what I'll do is, let's see. Getting my cigar box here. And grab a needle. And let's grab a little bit of thread. I know it looks like I'm organized, but I'm not. This was already organized like this. My mom gave it to me. Okay. I'm organized in the sense that I know where things are. All right, let me split this real quick. I think I'm just going to use 3. Is this a 6 strand, hopefully? Yeah. I do it the way I was taught, which is hold one in the mouth. So I hope that doesn't offend. Okay, and I have that little guy. I probably should bring my needle threader. What did I do with that? I put it back. It's over in my sewing basket. Okay. Let's see if this is okay. So here's the plan. Okay, these 2 are not ironed. These are my duds for this project. Of course, there's no duds, but okay. So this is my plan. Okay, I'm going to turn this under. I'm going to turn this under like that. Put that down. I'm going to turn this under like that. Okay. Now I do have little pins if I see that I'm going to need them, but I may not need them. I'm trying to get my knot in there to hide underneath. I already got a string that's wonk. There we go. Okay. So I don't know. I'm going to just do different stitches. This first one, just kind of tack it in place. Yeah, I've got one that's already. So what happens is if I get one strand that gets off track, see how this one is? See how it's poking out right there? It's not aligned. I will just take my needle. I'll go all the way down to it. Yeah, you can tell it's tangled. Okay, I'm going to go all the way down to it. And I'm going to try to get that tangle out. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way down to it. And now, hopefully, when I bring my needle back up, I straighten that. See how it's getting that aligned, that thread aligning it. Then you can take it all the way off, but now I see the one. Okay. All right, hopefully we're in business. Okay. And I think this came from like a little kit or something. So it's not the floss that I'm used to. So I might even get my floss waxing thing to put in here too. So I need my waxing thing, and I need my my thread waxer, and I need my needle. What am I trying to say? Needle threader. Yeah, because these are not, doesn't feel like these are treated at all. A lot of times they'll have a little bit of something glossy on them, that makes them, trying to make them, a little easier. Okay, so now this looks like it's a little bit fiddly, which it can be a little bit fiddly, but it's a little bit more fiddly because I'm so far away from my face doing this. Typically I would have it a little closer to me, but anyway, so I'll just keep doing this. Again, we could pin it. If you wanted to. I'm also taking that book I told you about that I got at the library at church. I'm reading it. The writer is a really good. I'm enjoying. I don't know if enjoying is the right word. I think the writer. I'm respecting the writer. We'll put it that way. The thing about it is so much detail, and I get lost in that. It's a little bit more detail than I feel needed, kind of like how my daughter thinks, remember when I told you guys about the dump truck that dumped over at the railroad track, and I was my daughter and I were watching that video of me telling, because I was telling her about me drawing that picture, and she's like, yeah, I think that's a little bit more detail than is needed, so that's kind of how this book is. It's like you get lost in the details. I do anyways, and I find myself wanting to skip, but then I feel like I'm going to skip something important in the story. But I do find myself becoming impatient, and I find myself thinking, let's get on with the story. Ugh. It may be why I just don't read a lot of books. Okay, so see, that's another reason why I really don't pin very often with things like this. Now you could use, maybe it would be better to use the little clips. Love it if I had even tinier clips, but I don't. Okay, so that's going to be like this. It's going to be on the other side too. And then, so then when we make our chain, so it needs to be big enough to where another one can zip through it, just like when you made them in kindergarten, your construction chain, which I love those so much. I have one from my daughter, my oldest daughter. You know, she's 40 this year. I have one from, you know, when she was in kindergarten. I still have it on the tree, and I just love it so much. I mean, it's deteriorating, you know, but I'm gentle, very, very. Okay, I seem to have gotten the same thing. That probably I would not do, you know, but let's say all of this is sewn together. So then I'm going to just make the little chains like this. That'd be cute. So that's the plan. That is the travel project plan. So hopefully I'll have some good things to report when I get back. I'm going to take this off. Leave a little bit just in case I decide to do something with that. I'm going to leave that on there because I'll just pick up and use it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I need to put my other two things in here. This I can put away. Yeah, so we're excited. It's getting down to the go time. So thanks everyone for watching and hanging out. And I'll try to have a good report on progress with this. And maybe I'll have that book done too. I'm kind of wanting to get it done. Everyone says it's a really good book. So maybe it's coming. Maybe the really good part's coming. We'll see. I'm not even halfway. I'm a very slow reader when it comes to stuff like that. Now, if it was a statistical book, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that book was so good. Crazy, isn't it? Okay, everyone, have a really great day. Hope you get a chance to do some craft or some needlepoint or sewing or anything like that, even just cutting pages out. And don't forget, we pray blessings over you, and we want you to know you're so loved. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.